Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today I'm going to give you 20 violin licks for the blues in E. So I'm going to give you 20 licks that you can use when playing in the key of E, and this is a useful key because guitarists love this. I'm going to show you some basic principles of blues, namely using licks, simplicity and repetition. I'm going to use a number of different feels and styles, so I'm going to give you what I call the straight feel and the shuffle feel, a slow shuffle and a medium shuffle, and also a kind of a country blues feel. I'm going to talk about major and minor blues scales and hemiolas as well, so you should find some general useful principles along the way. So let's start off with the straight feel, and I'll give you 5 different licks that you can use. So we're going to start off with the major blues scale, which is the major pentatonic with a flattened third. So the lick we're going to do is just going up this scale. And you will find that you can repeat this all the way through the 3 different chords of the 12-bar blues. Let's just hear that repeated all the way through. You can see how I was treating it very flexibly. I did it half time a couple of times, I started late or started early, and that's one of the great things about learning licks, is that once you've got one you can not only do it in different keys, but you can also do it in different parts of the bar. Now the minor blues scale, which will sometimes fit over the same chords as the major blues scale, is based on the E minor pentatonic, but we've got this flattened fifth. So the lick we've got is, it comes half a beat after the beginning of the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's just do that over the chords. And so on. That's not actually one that you would do many times. There are some of these licks that you can do just virtually through the whole 12 bars. Now the next one is also using the minor blues scale, and this is what I call a hemiola, and I do suspect it may not be officially a hemiola, but to me a hemiola is a 3-beat phrase played in 4, and the effect of that is that the 3 beats find themselves in a different position in the bar each time. So the phrase is, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's lots of useful blues licks you can base around this. Now that doesn't make much sense on its own, but let's hear that with the backing. 2, 3, 4. Next one is a hemiola and a minor pentatonic. So the phrase is, so we're going down this scale without the blue note, so it's just a pentatonic, but we're doing 3 notes at a time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And finally, we've got a hemiola, which is I call the 1-2-4 lick, and I did a whole video about this. So if you take the start with your second finger on the G sharp, bring your first finger up to it, and then do 1, 2, 4. And this one you can play all the way through the 3 chords, or you can take it down a fifth when you go to the A. And this is often the case that blues licks, if they work on the 1 chord, they will work on the 4 and the 5, but you have the option of moving the whole thing, transposing the whole thing up to the 4 and up to the 5. Just depends how you feel. So I'm going to play all 5 of these licks around, just kind of mixing them together. We'll see what it sounds like. So you can see that I was moving pretty freely between them, and that's the great thing about these licks. You don't have to be creative and inventive, although you want people to think that you are. But if you've got these licks at hand, then you can just use them like building bricks. Stick them on, take them off, mix them around. Okay, now we're going to move on to a medium shuffle. So instead of a dum chak dum chak dum, we've now got a dum chak dum chak dum chak, which is very common in blues. So let's just have a quick listen to that feel. So that's the feel, and when you're playing quavers or eighth notes, then they're going to be swung da-ba-do-ba-da and da-ba-do-ba-da and down. You don't want to give it too much of a jazzy swing feel, but it does definitely have that long, short feel to it. So let's start off with a minor blues, starting after the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that with the backing sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to follow the shuffle with triplets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of those beats is going to be split into 3. And we're going 2, open 1. And one of these will sound great as the chords change. Then it'll make what you were playing sound more interesting. And the longer you can hold it, the more interesting it will feel, until eventually it starts to sound less interesting. Let's just hear a bit of that, and I'll start from halfway through. Okay, now a Hemiola minor blues. So the 3 beats are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, hear that? And I'm also going to take this up an octave. 1, 2, 3, 4. And up. It's easy to take them up if they are on the lower strings. Obviously, if you're starting on the A or E strings, it's not going to be so easy to go up an octave. Finally, for this feel, we've got the shuffle feel again with some triplets. So that simple repetition of 4 notes, it is not boring. It's quite interesting if you do a bit of a slide and do some false harmonics. That gives it that nice dirty feel. And this one will go up an octave as well. Let's just hear it with backing. 1, 2, 3. And now let's mix and match through these 4 licks. Okay, let's move on to the slow shuffle. So a much slower feel, but it's still the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, da, do, da, do, da, do, da, that kind of feel. Let's just have a quick listen to the feel before we start. So that's the feel. Being slow doesn't mean you don't have to play many notes. You've got a lot of freedom to either play long and dreamy notes, or you can absolutely pack it with little notes. So there's plenty of room for excitement, even on slow blues. Let's start off with the 12/8 feel. So we're going to do a B with an E above it. I'm sliding up to each B, and I'm doing a down, up, up, down, up, up. Let's just hear that. And then another similar one, which is now we can double that 12/8 feel. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can do dagga dag dag daddle da daddle da daddle da daddle da da. So 1, 3, open. 1, 2, dag 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 down. Let's hear that with the backing. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Okay, now the next one we can do rubato, but we'll start it off as the fast 12/8 feel. So we're going do that. 6 notes to a bow. So you could do that as a lick, but what I really want to do with this is to do it rubato. So you can stretch out the beginning and the end of it. And you can do the whole thing in a single bow if you want. So let's start this one off just as it's written. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now rubato. So you can see I was really bending and stretching that in lots of different ways, and just using anything on the minor blues scale will be really good, and you can just take little bits of it and get those dirty false harmonics. I think that sounds great. Finally, for the slow shuffle, we've got another fast 12/8 feel, and it's a run up 2 octaves. So we're going, all that's first position, and it's all in one bow. And then, so that's open 2 and into 3rd position. So that's 1, 2, 2, 4. And then just slide your finger up to the harmonic. I'll just give you the second half. So from the beginning, and let's try that with the backing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go through the other ones as well. Finally, let's look at the country blues feel. Now it has a slightly more major feel to it, as a lot of country things do. This is something you'll be able to use in honky-tonk, Hank Williams type songs, in western swing, and also quite a lot of contemporary country. So we're having more of a major feel and a slight swing to it. So the feel we've got is... So it's quite an upbeat kind of shuffle, and we're going to start off with a major blues scale. So we're just making it more interesting by starting a half a beat into the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then slurring across the bar line at the end of the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, okay, okay. Next we've got one based on the major pentatonic but descending. So the major pentatonic, but we're going down. So starting on the fourth finger. It's well worth learning this kind of pattern. It'll be very useful in all kinds of places. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Next we got another Hemiola on the major blues scale. You can either slide your second finger up like that, or you can bring your first finger up towards your second finger and next one. This is kind of emphasising the major third, which is the G sharp. Let's just hear that one and the previous one together. Next we've got a minor blues Hemiola. And we are moving the first finger up and playing that E, open E, most of the time, or in fact if you want all of the time. You could do it with first and second finger if you want. Just has a slightly different feel. If you want that slide, then use your first finger on both notes. And finally we've got the Johnny B. Good lick, or at least the rhythm based on that. So it's so we're starting off with straight notes. Then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can be very confusing the first few times you do this, but it's a really good lick for anything with a kind of a rock and roll feel to it. Let's hear that one and the previous one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's mix up all 6 of these licks. 1, 2, 3. Found this useful and interesting. There's a lot more about blues licks in both my jazz violin book and my rock violin book. And if you would like a copy of the dots that I've done for this video, then do subscribe to the channel and send me an email. And if you're enjoying my videos in general, then do consider helping to support me on Patreon. And I will be doing a video on Patreon based on these blues licks in E with a question and answer. So you listen and you play back what you hear. and there's lots more like that on my Patreon page. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again soon.